That right there is the Aging Room Quattro Maduro simple cigar to get us through the day. I'm Tony Katz. The show is Tony Katz today. Be sure to subscribe and like and follow. Got my Flederman Von Reist watch. Let's begin. Russia, the economy, the lying, fraudulent New York Times and their support of Hamas, which is, well, apparent to everybody. And, of course, the slow rolling of nominees. I mean, a lot has happened over the last couple of days. But I got to start where I start. And I start with this Durham Annex. I start with the declassification that shows that everything Hillary Clinton has ever done is a lie. Of all the people, of all the frauds American politics has ever offered up, there should be a special place for the conversation, the consideration of Hillary Clinton. Tony Katz. No, I'm not a fraud. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. 833-468-8669. 833 got Tony. That's how you get to be a part of the show. Cigar in hand. This is from Aging Room. This is their Maduro. Very simple cigar, but it's in that Churchill. It's in a soft box press, which I like, and that's what I'm smoking as we do the show. You can catch the show over at YouTube, youtube.com/Tony Katz, on Facebook, Tony Katz Radio, or on the Twitter X at Tony Katz. It is all there. Check it out for yourself. Get into the chat room. Join the thing. Hillary Clinton is amongst the worst characters that American politics has ever created. If you look up to Hillary Clinton and think of her as a role model, you're just wrong. We're not going to agree to disagree. She's a terrible person, and you're terrible. Those people are terrible for thinking of her as somebody who should be looked up to. The only reason to utilize Hillary Clinton is to explain to your sons, women like that you don't date, women like that you don't marry, women like that you don't hang around. That's a terrible woman. She's a terrible person, a despicable, low human being. Oh, Chelsea, I don't care that she's a good grandma. I think that's wonderful. But she should be a good grandma from jail, because what she did to America was straight up fraud. What did she do to America? What is it that we know in this case? What we know for fact is that it was all a cover-up. Every last bit of it, every last bit of Russia was indeed a cover-up. David Marcus over there at Fox said it extremely well. The Russia hoax is simple. Democrats lied and half the country believed them. Correct. The Democratic Party lied. Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, James Comey, James Clapper, John Brennan, Loretta Lynch, Andrew McCabe. These people aren't even Americans. Now, someone's going to say to me, I can't believe you said that. Being an American means something. Being an American means that you believe in the system. If you don't believe in the system, where sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, where we have a vote and the people decide, if you don't believe in that, you aren't an American. Joe Biden wants to tell me, well, you're not allowed to just love the country only when you win. Tell that to Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and McCabe and Clapper and Comey and Brennan and Lynch. These people are not Americans. They're not Americans like us. They're not like us. They invented the full story of Trump with Russia. Then they covered it up. It is obvious. It is clear. We have the data points. And you want the key line? I'll give you the key line. The key line comes from an email. This email came from a guy by the name of Leonard Bernardo, which I'm telling you is 10,000% a Bond villain name. Leonard Bernardo, whatever book you're reading, he did it. That just obvious. Whatever it is, he did it. And he wrote regarding the subject of Russia, and pushing this idea that Trump was somehow involved with the Russians. Hillary Rodham Clinton approved Julia's idea about Trump and Russia and hackers hampering U.S. elections. Oh, it's just an idea, was it? That should distract people from her own missing email, especially if the affair goes to the Olympic level. We could all assume that the Olympic level means that the press would do its job, being fellow travelers of the left and not actually journalists. I'm talking about you, Jake Tapper, you, Willie Geist, you, Jonathan Lemire, you absolute punk chumps. Which you deserve every bit of bad thing that is said about you. You did this. Rachel Maddow, Chris Hayes, Brian Stelter, Anderson Cooper, Wolf Blitzer, you all did this. You're guilty. Rachel Maddow, you did this. You didn't ask questions. You didn't engage in any journalistic integrity whatsoever. What you did was say whatever you want as long as we can get invited to the party. Whatever party that was. The letter continues, the point is making the Russian play a U.S. domestic issue. Say something like a critical infrastructure threat for the election to feel menace, since both the president and vice president have acknowledged the fact that the intelligence community would speed up searching for evidence that is regrettably still unavailable. Let's translate this a little bit. Create a distraction. Claim that there's a threat to the election. And you'll get people talking about it. And therefore, no one will talk about Hillary and absolutely having a server to bypass congressional oversight when she was Secretary of State. And you can hurt Trump in the process. This is what happened. These are the facts. This is exactly what you knew to be true, but now you have it. Now you've got it as clear as day. You have every bit of it. You know, I've come to hate the word hoax. We call it a hoax for everything, but it's exactly what it was. And it was perpetrated by people who claim to be our betters. I argue that they aren't even Americans. What's so American about James Comey? They served as FBI director? When the moment came to tell the truth, he didn't tell the truth. What's so American about John Brennan? What? No. Somebody explain it to me. That they live here? That they were born here? Sorry, not enough. America, we talk about an idea. Some people want to talk about it as the soil. It's an interesting conversation, the soil one. I still like the idea of discussing it as a concept, a philosophy by which we hold ourselves to the standard that is put forth by the Constitution and the laws of the land, which they don't. They don't believe themselves to be people who have to be beholden to a standard. They believe they are the standard, which means that they do not believe in a nation of laws. They believe in a nation of men. And in a nation of men, you are the slave. They're not Americans. You're the subject, if you don't like the word slave. You are the one who is told what to do and how to feel, and they are the ones who tell you what to do and how to feel. They're not Americans. Let me say it again to the women out there. It's very, very important that I mansplain this to you. If you think that Hillary Clinton is a role model, you're wrong. You're dumb. You're a dope. You're a fool. You are ignorant, and there is no possible way for you to raise good children, especially sons and especially daughters. See, I didn't do one or the other. It's equal. You can't raise children. I would only hope you're not having children. Now, I'm not telling you to abort children. That's pretty gross. Just don't. You're not up to the task. Because if you think Hillary Clinton's a good person, you couldn't be up to the task. Hillary Clinton is amongst the most despicable characters in American political history. The data is clear. The data is understood. Equally, we note that this letter from Leonard Bernardo. Wait, was Leonard Bernardo the bad guy from West Side Story? No? Yeah. The letter from Leonard Bernardo. He is a top official at Open Society Foundations. And it was a letter about him. That letter includes a conversation about Clinton's foreign policy advisor, Julianne Smith. And if you're like, wait a second, Open Society Foundation, I know Open Society Foundation. That's right. George Soros. George Soros funded Open Society Foundation. Not an American. I don't give a damn what anybody tells me. Well, you can't talk about that, him like that. That's anti-Semitic. Allow me to say what must be said. You are allowed to talk about anybody you want, anytime you want, and no one's allowed to tell you, well, you can't because they're black or they're Jewish or they're Hispanic or they're Christian or they're white or they're this, that, or the. You talk about anybody as you choose to. You just need facts. I think you need facts. I think you need data. I think you need to be able to back up your conversation. George Soros is the enemy. We don't have to think about this anymore. He is what he is. And I have absolutely no doubt that his son is of the same cloth. However, I'm going to have to see how that one plays out. I could be wrong. When it comes to George Soros, I am not wrong. I don't want to hear about the Koch brothers. I don't want to hear about Miriam Adelson, Sheldon Adelson's wife. I don't want to hear about any of this stuff. Oh my God, look what Elon Musk is putting his money into. The left is bereft with lowlifes who have made way too much money trying to interfere with elections and push horror on the American people. To hell with them. And I'll say anything about George Soros anytime I want. If I want to talk about his religion, I'll do it. Anybody doesn't like it can go to hell in a handbasket. The facts are in front of us, clear as day. These people are what you thought they were. So what happens now? What is it that we experience now? It's a great question to which I don't have a good answer. What do you do with this information? How do you go about utilizing it in a way that people understand how duplicitous the progressive left is and how they cannot be allowed to have a say in America's future because they're not Americans? Well, I think it starts certainly with making sure we all have the information. I think it starts certainly with taking a look at those outlets that support the people I just mentioned and not supporting those outlets, nor supporting those sponsors. There has to be an economic pain that takes place. And while President Trump does not believe in retribution, he has said so many times, everybody in the administration has to recognize that people who need to go to jail, you have to try and put in jail. You got to engage the case. You got to prosecute the case. They have to defend themselves. They have to show up. They have to be forced into a courtroom. Now, you might say to me, you can't do it. You might say to me, it can't happen. You're not going to be able to get anybody into a courtroom. Then the only other thing you could do is ensure these people never win ever again, nor the people they support. You can stop engaging with content. You can stop engaging with sponsors, and you should. These people do not deserve any of your money, any of your time, any of your respect. People who push the idea that you should respect them should be laughed out of the room. But you can't let them win. If anything, if any part of this Durham Annex, this John Durham report, the Annex part that was classified, that got declassified by the Judiciary Committee, any part of this that we take away, any takeaway, they can't be allowed to win. They are not Americans. I'll say that now. I will say it every day. I'll say it to anyone. I'll debate it anywhere. You don't allow people like this to have victories. You don't allow people like this to be in charge. Because look what they do when they're given just a little bit of power. I'm Tony Katz. This is Tony Katz Today. a Palestinian.
I'll say about the situation. I haven't seen the letter or talked to Roe, but here's what I'll say about the situation. The humanitarian crisis right now, negotiated, required in order to bring that about.
Welcome back, Tony Katz. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. What do we think? You think this all right? We think this good? Oop, just broke that. New mic stand. New mic. Wanted to try the whole low profile thing because the mic usually was like up here. And I thought it was just in the way. So we're going with this. Do I look more official? No? Yes? Maybe? Does it look weird like that? Maybe it looks... Is it? Yeah, right? See, I can do it like this too. Like I could do that and then kind of just, I think it looks better here. Maybe it looks better like this. Like that. I don't know. Honestly, I have no clue. We'll just keep it like that. It's good. Good to be with you. Good to be back. Did a couple days. Saw my mother in Florida and checked in on her, and everything's going great. And now I am here, smoking a cigar with you. Yes, some branding on the mic arm would work, like here, right? Like right here, right? Should I put sponsorships now available? Like you put the sponsor right here, right? Boom. It's right there. There it is. All right. Sponsorships now available. Also, getting ready for the event with Nick Searcy. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I think I've got it right here. All right, music in 5. We hear you. August 23rd. You're gonna have a chance to get your tickets tomorrow. Everybody else is gonna wait till Wednesday or Thursday. It's gonna be so good.
But here's what I'll say about the situation. The humanitarian crisis right now is unconscionable, and we've got to surge humanitarian aid and food into Gaza to prevent starvation from children and innocent civilians who have been suffering in this war zone. At the same period of time, we've got to make sure that we can get every single hostage out and returned to their families in Israel, and we need to restore the ceasefire that Donald Trump inherited from Joe Biden but has allowed to be broken.
Hakeem Jeffries is a damn fool. Donald Trump isn't responsible for the breaking of a ceasefire. Hamas is. When you side with terrorists like the UK has, like France has, like Portugal has, like Canada has, like your party has, Hakeem Jeffries, they don't feel that they need to negotiate. They think they've won. Oh, you're going to recognize statehood. I guess we can keep going about taking hostages and murdering Israelis by the thousands. We can keep starving hostages. Remember, anybody who's got a starvation issue, a feeding issue, a hunger issue in Gaza is because Hamas takes the food. We've got the data to prove that. We've known this for years. This isn't anything new. But if Hamas gives up the hostages and hands them all back, everything will stop. You'll see how much better it gets. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. Trump allowed the ceasefire to cease is ignorantly stupid. Is a daft statement from an absolute failure of a human being. But don't worry, he's got more.
So that we can establish a permanent path toward a just and lasting peace between Israel and the Palestinian people. And the only way to actually achieve that with some permanence is to make sure that there's a two-state solution. A safe and secure Israel living side by side with a Palestinian state that allows the Palestinian people to pursue and experience dignity, prosperity, and self-determination.
What the hell does that even mean? In 2005, we kicked Israelis out of Gaza. We took them, I shouldn't say we, the Israelis did, took them out of their homes and said, sorry, this land isn't yours anymore. It's going to the Palestinians. And they cried and they screamed and they begged and the soldiers cried and they took the people out. And then the Palestinians elected a terrorist organization. What in the world is Hakeem Jeffries talking about? What is it like to be that much of a fool, that much of a useful idiot, day in and day out, to be so supportive of a terrorist cause? What two-state solution do you actually think is going to come? And the answer is none. No rational person thinks this. No one else in the rest of the world thinks this. Only the American liberal, lost in their own mind, believes this. But not all American liberals. Some understand that this is just a ploy. This is just a thing you say because the objective is to kill the Jews and kill the Israelis and then move on to the United States. Everything that we are witnessing a precursor to the destruction of Western civilization. Good Lord. How many more ways do you need to see it? Let's say it again for the people in the cheap seats. You can't elect these people. Hakeem Jeffries is not smart enough to be in charge. He's a danger. His statement is so daft, I wouldn't let that guy operate heavy machinery. A two-state solution living side by side with Hamas? Is this your argument? Because if your argument is, well, first you have to get rid of Hamas, well, at least then we'd be on to something. Then you're going to need a peacekeeping force because the Palestinians cannot govern themselves because they have been taught to hate Israel. And of course, they're going to continue the attacks on Israel. So you're going to have a good 40 years like Jews wandering in the desert of some force to get this mentality out of their heads. And then, sure, then you got something. But they don't ever stop with their nonsense. Hakeem Jeffries blaming Trump, boring. Hakeem Jeffries pushing two-state solution, leftist political claptrap that has nothing to do with reality. Standard for Hakeem Jeffries. This is Tony Katz today. Thank you, Producer Lamb. That's Producer Landon back at the station. Oh, Kenneth, absolutely. Hamas went through everything. Palestinians went through everything, destroyed the infrastructure that the Israelis had created because Israelis believe in growing food and creating medical devices, and Hamas believes in starving the people and then building bombs. They're again, they not like us. Very, very, very different people. Very much so. Yeah, do I sound like I'm in a mood? Not really. Just there might be a little bit of exhaustion. Not tired, not from the trip or anything like that. But just with we've been through this. We know these people are nonsense. Why are we still arguing it? They should be mocked, ridiculed, and shamed, but you can't just say, "Oh, they're dumb." You gotta back it up. You gotta have something as a part of that conversation. That's the part that I think that's important. So it's important to be able to have the breakdown. Let me see what else. The Texas runaway. The Texas runaway. I'll get to that story. Let me make sure I've got everything I need. Do I have everything? No, I've got this.
Fred Garvin, male prostitute. Fred Garvin, male prostitute.
That's a good one. That's always a good one to have. Um, what was I gonna? I will grab that. So what else, guys? What else should I be going over? What else do we need to discuss? King of the Hill is back with Bobby as an adult. It's a pretty good idea. It's a pretty smart idea. It really is. There we go. Coming back in 1 minute. I am on. Am I on Newsmax twice today or once? I'm on at 5:20, 5:30. And I think I'm on again at 6:20. I don't know. I am on at 5:30. At least I'm scheduled. So tune in then. All right. Right on. Coming back. Let's go do a radio show, guys.
From my perspective, to refuse to stand up and fight for our democracy as we are joining in solidarity with our friends from Texas means one thing. You won't fight for democracy, you're doomed to lose it. For almost 250 years, our democratic experience has been fought for, and it's endured. As governor of a state where many of those early battles took place, we're commemorating them next year. Those battles for freedom were here. That's why I cannot stand by and let this happen while Donald Trump and his co-conspirator, Greg Abbott, erode our democracy and drag us toward authoritarianism.
That's Kathy Hochul, and she's very inspiring. And when I say very inspiring, I mean not inspiring at all. I could have gone for a far darker, deeper joke, but I'm like, nah, we don't need that, do we? Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. 833-468-8669, 833. Got Tony. That's how you call in and get to be a part of the show. The chat room is open. The YouTube stream is happening there. The live stream, you can go to youtube.com/Tony Katz or Twitter X, Tony Katz, Facebook, Tony Katz Radio, and be a part of it. And yes, indeed, you should join us on August 23rd. August 23rd, actor and director Nick Searcy is coming to town, coming to Indianapolis from Hollywood to the heartland. Nick Searcy, me on stage, the bourbon, the cigars, the food. It is going to be absolutely incredible. Tickets go on sale Wednesday, maybe Thursday. Wednesday, I do believe. August 23rd. You want to clear your calendar for that. Going to be a fantastic time. You should be there. Texas Democrats have decided that they are unhappy that there is going to be redistricting going on. They are unhappy about the fact that they lost. They are unhappy about the fact that something is happening that they do not like. So what they have decided to do is Democrats have decided that what they'll do is they will run away. Now, running away for Democrats is a time-honored tradition. Wisconsin Democrats did this well over a decade ago, I believe it was, and they went to Illinois. Indiana Democrats, you guys know I live in Indianapolis, or just in the Indianapolis area, and the Indiana Democrats didn't like the fact that something was going to happen in 2011, and they ran away to Illinois. Illinois is where progressives go when they want to see progressivism done as progressivism is done, which is, of course, horribly and horrifically. As President Trump said of Venezuelan socialism, Venezuela's problem is that they did not implement socialism improperly. Their problem is that they implemented socialism faithfully. He said that at the UN. I'm telling you, to date, that's his best speech. People forget that speech. That speech was so good. And when he said the line, the crowd, it's the UN. They give a kind of chuckle and they're not quite sure what to do. And then there's like this smattering of applause because it was so completely and totally honest that the room was taken aback. They were a little bit laughing because it's true and a little bit laughing because I can't believe he actually said it. It's his best speech to date, for sure. And I would say it was a better speech than the speech he gave in front of the joint session back in March, which was in a top 5 for him. The UN speech, maybe it's just that line I'm so enamored by, and maybe other speeches were better, but that line is the very best of his entire political career. The Texas Democrats have left for Illinois on a private jet. It's always on a private jet. Why are they leaving? They're leaving because there is going to be a redistricting that takes place. I'll share with you how Newsmax wrote the story. Texas Democrats are leaving the state in an attempt to prevent the State House from holding a vote on Monday, which would be, of course, today, on new congressional maps that Republicans hope will net them several additional U.S. House seats in the 2026 midterm election. We would call this gerrymandering. And I do not disagree that we would look at gerrymandering and say, man, do we not like this? I think that if you took the vast majority of us and you didn't even have to inject truth serum, just a little bit of bourbon sitting at the bar stool would be like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Watching how districts are drawn, good Lord, it's like trying to draw a picture on an Etch-a-Sketch down a bumpy road. It's just a big hot mess. They make no sense. They go in every which direction. Of course, it's screwed up, and we absolutely all agree. But it happens. And it happens from the political left. Just as much, if not more, as it happens from the political right. That Democrats are going to escape to Illinois because they're opposed to new district lines being drawn. When you take a look at Illinois, the district map is so confusing that even Escher would be like, man, I could not draw something that messed up. It's crazy. Democrats have cast the decision to leave the state as a last-ditch effort, reports Newsmax, to stop Republicans who hold control of the Texas government from pushing through a rare mid-decade redrawing of the congressional map at the direction of President Donald Trump. Now, to the extent that anything's at the direction of President Trump, I can't greatly answer, but nothing would surprise. However, I must ask the question, what in that conversation declares this illegal? If you don't like what Texas Republicans are doing, okay, that's fine. You don't have to like it. There are plenty of things Republicans do that I don't like. But what about what he's doing or what they're doing is illegal? And the answer is nothing. Nothing about it is illegal. Nothing at all. So why are we talking like this? Why are they escaping like this? No laws have been broken. No, nothing. Yet if I listen to Senator Cory Booker,
I'm sick of the gerrymandering, but if Donald Trump is going to push to gerrymander Texas, he's going to break the rules in order to win. He can't win by the rules they are right now, so he thinks you should break the rules. For Democrats to sit back and just say, okay, we're going to play by the Queen's rules, no. I'm telling you right now, we need to win in the midterm. We need to stop him from cheating, from lying, and from stealing the election. And if they're doing something to add their congressional seats, we need to look at our ways of doing that right now.
I guess we're now allowed to talk about stealing the election if we're talking about Trump. If it's a Trump mention, we can talk about stealing the election. But if we're talking about Democrats, why are you always talking about stealing the election? My goodness, you're always with the culture war. Why are you like that? This is a great example of the political left, and I'll get more into this. That when they do it, it's about protecting democracy. When you do it, it is the greatest crime ever. But the other part of what Cory Booker said is gerrymandering's okay. And because they're doing it, we'll have to do it. But that entire argument is false because they're already doing it. We have to start in a place of basic understanding. Gerrymandering happens. The drawing of districts to get a desired political outcome happens, and it happens from both sides. There is nothing new here. The fact that we don't like it doesn't change the fact that it happens. It happens and it is happening. Since we know this to be the case, Cory Booker's argument falls flat. It's just the same old pablum that takes place anytime Republicans do something that Democrats don't like. There's nothing, as I've seen, there's nothing illegal about what's happening. Someone could argue it's immoral. My God, I could talk about many, many things that are immoral. You could not like it. You could want to vote against these people. That's fine. But if you tell me that a mid-decade redistricting is rare, I'll say to you, okay, it's rare. But that doesn't make it illegal. It doesn't make it wrong. You go to Illinois. You escape to Illinois. By the way, how upset are Minnesota Democrats that they went to Illinois and not there? Wait a second. We're way more left than those Illinois pansies. I mean, we don't even call ourselves the Democratic Party here. We're the DFL. We're just a hop, skip, and not even a jump away from calling ourselves communist. And look at our governor. That guy loves the commies. Honeymoon in Tiananmen Square? J.B. Pritzker ain't got nothing on Tim Walz. Running away is pathetic and sad, and an abdication of responsibility, which, of course, they don't care about. And they're getting celebrated by Democrats all over. Kathy Hochul went to Illinois to cheer them on. Will they face any consequences when they return? It's very doubtful. But you should understand and know from the start that while the left is screaming about this, they haven't said that what they're doing is illegal. They've screamed and yelled and thrown all the prerequisite nonsense out there. Not illegal. But we could all say we don't want the gerrymandering. Just draw a dang district and let it be done. It shouldn't morph and move like it's Oobleck on a speaker. But that's not what we've got. This is what we've got. And Democrats do this all the time. I'm not surprised that Republicans do it too. I wish it wasn't this way. But let's not pretend it's new ground we're covering. This is Tony Katz today. looking for stuff. Never be afraid to send me anything, man. And stories like that, that's a good part of the producing. So keep that up. Keep that up. Keep that up. I'm walking through with Landon things to do in terms of what it takes to producing this show. And so I focus on the political and cultural, and I have a pretty good handle on what I want and going about it. But there are things that I don't see in stories. I don't find in odd stories, and I want them to send them our way. What most would make all of us go, I'm sorry, what is happening? Like that's the groundwork. What exactly is happening here? What is a story that would make you sit down with friends and be like, did you hear this? Like that's the production help that I want. Everything else I can handle. Yeah, but that's the stuff. So I was just saying to producer Landon, get that done. Oh, and let me tell you something. How dare I not play that? Oh, that's my fault. I have that? I do. Hold on, I've got it right here. I don't have that in this. I want to apologize. I am falling down on the job. Shame on. Wow, do I suck? Hold on a second. Let me get it. Now where does it go? There it is. Oh, an error occurred. Won't let me upload it. But the clip from Blues Brothers, I hate Illinois Nazis. I have that. Oh, it's not going to let me do that because I have to do that. Oh, I can do that. I can do this. I know it's wrong. Look at me. 5 things at once. God, try and find that on another show. Where in the world is it? There it is. There we go. There it is. And there it is. I'm going to do it for you guys. I'm going to get this done. Why didn't it let me do it? No, it's just killing me. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to do this. So the chat room reminded me that I'm talking about Illinois. How could I not play it?
I hate Illinois Nazis.
I mean, how did I miss that? How did I miss
I
that?
hate Illinois Nazis.
Shame on me. Falling down on the job. I owe you all an apology. I am sorry. Tony Katz. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. Find everything at tonykatz.com. As for this economy, and markets were up after the job numbers came out last week, which were nutty. By the way, I don't know where the market's going to close, but midday Monday, today, as I talk to you, mark was up over 500. So the sell-off from the jobs report is not having an effect at all on Wall Street. Now, effects of Midwest Main Street might be something that is different, but we're not seeing it on Wall Street. Now, this plays into that whole jobs number conversation and what it is that happened. How is it that the job numbers came in so horrifically? I mean, 70,000+ didn't hit the 100,000 that was being projected. That number was low. Revised over 250,000 jobs lower over the past 2 months. What happened there? And now you've got Trump firing the the head of BLS. And people saying, oh my gosh, Trump doesn't like a number, he fires people. I don't think that's the story. And I'm going to get more into this. I think the story is whether or not we ever believed the jobs numbers to begin with. Under Joe Biden, the jobs numbers were always revised down. For years, plural. Why in the world would we have ever been okay with it? Why would we think that it's all right? As far as I could tell, this is something that should have happened much earlier in Trump's term. Shouldn't even have happened now. So on this economic subject, on this economy story, this is just one piece. The other something that's just coming out now, that Trump is talking about increasing the tariffs on India and saying that this is happening, as we have discussed, because India buys Russian oil. Now, India's argument is, we are a growing country, we're a hungry country, we're a thirsty country, we are going to ensure that we have the cheapest energy possible, and we don't care what you do or what you say, we have a country to run. This was proven when countries were willing to use coal as a way of getting energy. All the green in the world doesn't matter, cheap energy. And all these green people are telling these nations that want to grow, you can't grow because, well, coal's not allowed and you have to use allegedly sustainable this, that, and the other, which costs 10 times as much or whatever the case may be. And these countries can't afford it. And they're getting lectured to by these green people about how they're supposed to grow a nation. They're going to grow it with cheap energy. So yes, the tariffs are about this, but no. The tariffs are about getting the deal with India because the deal with India matched with the deal with Vietnam, South Korea, and Japan, we're talking about trade deals, is the final piece before turning to China and say, you now have to come to the table because we already got everybody else in your region. That's what it's about. Keep it here. It's Tony Katz today. And I want to say for the record that if you go back and listen to this show, we called it then, guys. We said the words. Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, and India. I had started with really those three, and I added India. Once you have those 4 trade deals, doesn't even matter what the deal is. Once you have those 4, China is put into a box. China's got a problem. China now has to make a deal. China has to work it. Now, China can last longer. They've got more dollars. They have more trading partners, all this jazz. And according to the last conversation with, I think it was Jameson Greer, the trade representative, the conversations are going well. There might be a delay on when tariffs go back to those 145% numbers. So with that, they're claiming that things are moving in the right direction. But India is about the pressure piece. 1,000% is about the pressure on China. That's the India deal. So we will get to that. Right now, what we'll do is we'll take the break. The radio show's in break. We'll take the break. We'll come back. I'm going to get into the Sdney Sweeney story because people are about to ruin this girl's life or try to. And I don't want it. And we learned, look at how she has registered as a Republican in Florida. I didn't ask and I don't care. I'll get into why coming up. So stay here, smoke them if you got them. Feel free. I'll be back soon enough. All right. You know what? Usually I put up the "we'll be back," but I'll put up everybody's favorite. So you don't forget to join us on August 23rd.
What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 1
Tickets on sale this Wednesday. Myself, Nick Searcy, we will be in Indianapolis, Indiana. The event from Hollywood to the Heartland with actor-director Nick Searcy, and you've seen him in absolutely everything under the sun. It's going to be an incredible, incredible night with the bourbon, with the food, with all of it. It's going to be so good. The cigars, spectacular. Going to be incredible. I'm Tony Katz. The show is Tony Katz Today. What are you doing? How's your mother? You can, of course, be part of the chat room as you're there. Leave your comments. I will get them. I will get you guys the links. So you can get some discounted pricing. You're welcome. So we've got, on sale once I got rid of that banner. So we've got the tickets on sale. There will be food. It's not a sit down dinner, but you will eat. And then there's bourbon, and then there's other drinks, and then there's a cigar, and then there's a show. So the question is, how much should that ticket price be? Right now, I have it priced at $42 million. I'm told that might be a little high. And I told those people to shut it. Honestly, what do you think the ticket price should be? I don't think you'll have any, sway in my decision making, but just curious. Producer Landon, how much should that ticket price be? I think Landon is not in charge of ticket prices. So I think. I'm ready to do a radio show. Let's go. The only way to tell the difference between myself and Sdney Sweeney in jeans is that I'm a brunette. What? How else would you tell the difference? We both look great in jeans. It's not my fault that I have fantastic genetics. Wait, well, that was the whole problem with the joke, right? Sdney Sweeney has great genes. American Eagle putting that ad out there. Did they know when they were doing it, it would create this level of insanity? Did they know when they were putting that out there that the world would go completely insane over this ad, these series of ads, and the next thing you know, they would end up with quite literally millions and millions of dollars in earned media? Meaning they didn't pay for it, but people are talking about it. It's the dream. It's an absolute dream opportunity and moment. And they're taking full advantage of it. Did they know that the political left would go crazy and scream about these ads being racist, or these ads being about Nazis? And I don't know if they did. I don't know if they did or they didn't. What I know is that the political left doesn't believe in any level of humor. They don't believe in any level of comedy. They can't leave anything alone, and they're offended by everything, because that's part of being part of this progressive movement. To be offended by everything and all things. You don't even know how offensive you are. There's nothing offensive about the ad, and there's nothing offensive about the commentary. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. The commentary being Sdney Sweeney has good genes, the actress. And for the record, are we not honest? All right. Is she a good actress? Is she not a good actress? I don't know. I leave that to others. And I'm not saying that to be rude or anything like that. I don't know how I would rank her. I don't know if I've seen enough of her stuff to know. The only thing I've seen of her is that Sdney Sweeney has a body that won't quit. And that is not offensive. That is a fact. I'm not afraid or ashamed to admit it. I am a man and I notice things, and I noticed her. I always thought she had an odd look, right? Not the everyday look, but beautiful. And not afraid of it. Not ashamed of her body. And okay, fine. I left it at that. I didn't think anything more, anything less of it. This anger and this hatred towards the ad is all ridiculous. And this has now led to a revelation. I'll get to the revelation in a minute. First, allow me to cheer on the people from American Eagle. I don't think I own a pair of American Eagle jeans, and I don't even know if American Eagle jeans are meant for people like me. I don't know if they make jeans for men. I don't know if they make jeans for men who are built like men. I have no idea. By the way, built for men who are made for men who are built like men. That's a way of saying that maybe I'm a little bigger than the average guy. That's a nice way of calling yourself fat, Tony. Well, I try. American Eagle, getting ripped by the left for these ads, puts out a statement. The statement reads, Sdney Sweeney has great genes, is and always was about the genes. Her genes, her story. We'll continue to celebrate how everyone wears their AE jeans with confidence their way. Great genes look good on everyone. And that, kids, is how you handle the progressives. You don't give in. You don't kowtow. You don't grovel. You don't beg. You go about living your life. That's how it's done. And that's the only way it can be done. These people, these shameful, awful people, these hateful, vile people who can find no joy and no happiness in their life, they are not in charge of your life. Not now, not never, not ever. They don't get a say. They should be culturally and politically ignored. And at the times where they have decided that their only avenue is to be violent, they should be responded to with directness. We don't like what's happening, so we're going to block traffic in the middle of the road. Well, you're going to get run over. We don't like what's happening, so we're going to destroy art. Well, we're going to turn your face into a Picasso painting. Nose over here, eye over here. Honestly, would you go to a museum? Just do that for me, would you? Good on American Eagle. And then the American Eagle ad is so popular and so strong and is netting them such incredible results, although I'm curious to see if it will lead to an increase in jean sales, that Dunkin' Donuts, which now calls itself Dunkin', did an ad with a guy by the name of Gavin Casalegno. Casalegno. I don't know him. He is in the movie The Summer I Turned Pretty, which for me was the summer of '83. He's in a Dunkin' ad, and it's a full-on USDA choice takeoff of the jeans ad, where here's this dude, he's in shorts, he's in a shirt that's buttoned low, and he's got a Dunkin' drink with him, and his feet are in the pool, and...
Look, I didn't ask to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened. This tan? Genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer. Literally. I can't help it. Every time I drink a Dunkin' Golden Hour refresher, it's like the sun just finds me. So if sipping these refreshers makes me the king of summer, guilty as charged.
And he's sipping the drink, and now he's laying in a lounge chair. My genetics, that comes from the tan. My color, golden refresher. That's the name of the drink. Oh, people are losing their minds over this. Just proving how ridiculous they are, how shameful they're. Is she a comedian or an actress? Look it up, producer Landon. Her name is Tiffany Wong. And did you see it? She's wearing, you want something that's, cuts to the bone? She's wearing a yellow jean jacket and yellow jeans, pants, jeans, and she's laying down and she's doing the whole, Sdney Sweeney ad. I'm telling you what the ad is or the video is. You can yell at me all you want. I don't care. And her name is Tiffany Wong. She's Asian. And in the middle of the ad, she starts eating rice from a Chinese food container with chopsticks. And she says, "My jeans are yellow." Oh, she's wearing yellow. My jeans are yellow. It's so good. By the way, to me, hotter than Sdney Sweeney. That's not the story. Focus, Tony. The story is that the ad was fine. And the progressives who don't know how to have fun, who don't know how to enjoy, who want to get angry about everything all the time, they're the only people who are angry. We don't care that you're angry, progressives. We don't care that you're upset. We're not interested in your story. You're just silly people. She's an actress, not a comic. She's an actress. Well, my hero. It's so good. It's you got to see it. It's really, really. If you can find it, producer Landon, when you throw it in the chat room there on YouTube, youtube.com/Tony Katz. The live stream is happening there. Just throw it in there and I'll get it at TonyKatz.com later today. This has now culminated in what I see to be a serious problem. Because what has now happened is that it has been revealed, feel the air quotes, that Sdney Sweeney is a registered Republican in Florida. I don't know what response you thought I was going to have. I don't know what response I possibly could have.
Yes! 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 Oh! 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 Oh, God. Oh. Yes!
That's one response one could have. right there. I never asked about her political proclivities. I didn't care. And I of course I don't know Sdney Sweeney, and I hope she's okay that I don't care. I would hope that that's what she would want. But now that they found this out, assuming it's the right Sdney Sweeney, exactly how many attacks is she going to be under? How blackballed is she going to be in Hollywood? Is she going to find it harder to get jobs? You understand what happened here. She did an ad because she was paid to do an ad. She didn't apologize to the people screaming at her. She just did the ad and then moved on with her life. And because she didn't do what was demanded by the progressives, now that her political affiliation has been released, they're going to go after her left and right. I don't want that for her. In no way would I want this for Sdney Sweeney. I don't want this for anybody. That the world is now, if you politically disagree with people, they'll come after you. I'm aware of everything I do every day and aware that that moment will come. And you've seen people swatted and you've seen people attacked. What, she going to lose friends now? Because of her registration? I don't know how she voted. I know how she's registered. If indeed it's her, I know how she's registered. So what? She did an ad. So what? The ad wasn't offensive. Only crazy people think it's offensive. But the problem with the people who think it's offensive is that those people are very aggressive people. How do I know they're very aggressive? These are the people who support Antifa. These are the people who think it's okay to punch a Nazi. These are the people who threaten students on a college campus. These are the people who shoot at a presidential candidate. Never mind a majority whip. I think the argument here is what exactly comes next, not what exactly was done. Because what was done was no big deal. It's fine. But I'm genuinely now concerned for this woman. I don't know her. I don't know what she's going to say next. I'm not going to spend my days worrying about that. But I am worried about her. Now, I will note that I think she's 27. Is that millennial or is that Gen Z, producer Landon? Okay. I think it's Gen Z too. I am crazy about Gen Z. I have faith in them like you wouldn't believe. Gen Z seems to have taken a look at the millennials and said, you know what? There are things that matter. There are things we should be concerned about. But you people are freaking weird, and we just don't want to be that weird. We don't want to spend every moment of our waking lives wondering who in some dark corner is doing us wrong. What 5 Republicans have gathered in a basement plotting against us? We don't want to think everything is racist and everyone who treats us poorly is a racist or a bigot. We just want to go about our lives. They're also a generation that seems very into fitness, very into health, very into being rational. I dig them. I wouldn't hire a millennial if I could help it. I would hire Gen Z all day. Now, not everyone fits this bill, of course, but not anyone in any generation fits this bill. There are plenty of Gen Xers out there who are morons, and shameful that they're morons, but there they are. Gen Z seems to be a group of people that is aware of what's happening and doesn't want to be angry about everything going on. They can take the joke. They can laugh a little bit. And I hope I'm right. I hope my argument isn't anecdotal only. But take Sweeney, take the guy who did the Duncan ad. They knew what was coming. Or they at least the Duncan guy knew it was coming. And even Sweeney may have known, oh, jeans, and oh, that's going to be a play on words. Oh, I wonder how it's going to. I like the way Gen Z thinks on these things, and I think it's good. I think it should be supported. I am concerned for Sdney Sweeney and how people who are incapable of controlling their emotions might engage their emotions. I think that outing her political affiliation in a registration was wrong and obscene. I hope she has a nice long career doing the projects that she gets, and I hope she's not blackballed for any part of it. I don't believe that'll be the case. I don't believe that Hollywood is willing to change. I don't believe that they have. But more important, I'm concerned for her safety. Just like I'm concerned for anybody's safety who openly speaks and openly laughs in a world that says you can't do either. We have to keep openly speaking and openly laughing, and these other people need to be completely ignored. Good on you, Sdney Sweeney, for not breaking and not giving in. Go live your life. Wish you the best. Also, look great in the jeans. I should know. I do too. I'm Tony Katz. Welcome back, Tony Katz. Tony Katz today. I have to make one correction. Tiffany Fong is her name. Fong. Not Wong, Wong. My mistake, and I apologize. Now, is she an actress or is she a comic? Okay. Really? Well, it's absolutely brilliant. But post that in the chat if you would. You did put in the chat? Text it to me. I'll throw it in right now. 30 seconds heard. No, sorry, I got her last name wrong. Feel bad about that. It's so good. Yep. Tiffany Fong, Fong, not Wong, Wong. My mistake in the mispronunciation and the misread of her last name. This woman who created this parody of the Sdney Sweeney ad where she's wearing like yellow jeans and a yellow top, and she's Asian, and she says my jeans are yellow, and she's eating rice from a Chinese food to go container. It's like, oh my gosh, good Lord. It's just a story. And so we're like trying to find out more about her. And sure enough, there's a picture of her with Joe Biden. And then there's a whole thing about her and crypto and Sam Bankman-Fried. It's like, what in the, who is this? But the ad was nutty. Absolutely. The video was nuts. Really, it was well done, well played. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. Lonnie Anderson, WKRP in Cincinnati, dead at the age of 79. And eventually, of a certain age, everybody you grew up with is going to be gone. It's just what's going to happen. We will get to the moment. We'll get to the place. Everybody of a certain age is going to go. Lonnie Anderson, who was married to Burt Reynolds. Lonnie Anderson, who was married 4 times. Now, was she the star of WKRP in Cincinnati, which was a great show? Yeah. I mean, she was the glue of that show in terms of talk about a power, star power, everything else. I don't know if she was the hottest person on that show. I mean, the hottest person on that show was clearly Les Nessman. But I mean, I'm me, Jan Smithers, who played Bailey. Yeah. But Lonnie Anderson did 89 episodes of that show, and there were 90 episodes. So it goes. Godspeed. More to get to. Keep it here. This is Tony Katz today. And with that, guys, I can't thank you enough for being here, for being a part of the show. I got to run. By the way, this is the Munchner right here. This is the Small Seconds. See it right there. Swiss Mechanical. And you get that from the good people at Von Riest. Rieste. Get your watch at vonriest.com. Use promo code CATZ, KATZ. Get your discount. Do it while you can. Discounts can be around for a while. Maybe it'll get better. You should do it right now, though. See what you get. Incredible watches. Thrilled to be working with them. Absolutely adore them. Von Riest, Rieste. vonriest.com. Use promo code CATZ and get yours. Appreciate you guys being here so much. I will catch you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe there on YouTube, youtube.com/Tony Katz, on Twitter X, at Tony Katz, Facebook, Tony Katz Radio. I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care.